So we just finished our first Olympic triathlon, and now we're going to do a little Q&A that'll be directed by our wives, the lovely Rachel Forster and Kimberly Wagner.
All right, guys, how do you feel about your performances today?
I feel pretty good. Overall, I feel good. It was pretty close to what we predicted, other than my run. I really bombed on my run.
Yeah, my swim was so bad. Like I got kicked in the face, and then there was just so many people, and I kept sucking up water. So then I was like panicking and kind of having a panic attack, and then I'd like try to like stand up, catch my breath, and then keep swimming, and then like I couldn't breathe because I was kind of panicking.
I swam like this the whole way, but I did feel like I swam fast, but I was going against the current, right? Heading out, we're going against the current. On the way back, we're with the current. I felt great coming back. But I think my biggest problem was I wasn't spotting as I was swimming. I was just swimming, and then I'd look, and I'd have to do this, and then I'd look, and I'd do this, and I did that the whole way. So coming out of the water, I think I was like 20th or 25th or something. And you were probably...
I was like 80th.
Yeah, 80th. But the difference between us was 3 minutes. I was at 31 minutes, and he was at 34 or 35 minutes.
I was totally shocked when I saw that.
Yeah, it wasn't much difference. I mean, that's what they say in a triathlon, is that swimming's like the least important. And it definitely showed today. Like, I'm a way better swimmer in 3 minutes. That's nothing. My transition from swimming to biking was twice as long as his. I didn't have a triathlon suit. I just had triathlon suit bottoms. So I was going to put on a biking top, and when I went to put it on, I couldn't get it to zip. So I had to go Hulk Hogan and just rip the damn thing off. And I actually biked the whole bike with no top on. From the bike to the run, though, that was quick. I felt really good about that. I had trouble getting my socks on. I know a lot of people like to just, when they transition, they run without socks. That might be something I consider doing in the future. But that held me up a little bit, but our times weren't really much different from transitioning from bike to run. Yeah, I think the good people just had a towel and like 2 or 3 things laid out, and him and I had like an entire bag that looked like we'd taken and dumped it all out in front of our bike. Just pissed on the area. It was basically ours. Like, nobody's gonna do anything with this.
So would you guys bring that much stuff again next time?
Maybe not to a sprint or an Olympic, but I think I probably will for the half Ironman.
I think I'd bring it, but I'd be more prepared and organized for how I did it. And I organized it before we went down there last night. I just think that, every time you do it, you get a little bit better. I think I would be more organized about how and what I would bring.
Do you guys have anything like in particular that you like definitely know you would change or do differently to like improve your times?
Yeah, I mean, we could probably talk about that all day. There was 1,000 things I'd probably change or do different to improve. I mean, the first thing I'd say is having a better bike for me would make a big difference. Having a triathlon suit would probably help, right? These are basic things that I think if I had those, it would make it in seconds, but you add up all those seconds for each thing you do, and it turns into a pretty significant amount of time.
I don't think there's anything that really stands out besides my like swim being horrible. Like I need to open water swim, and just getting fitter and being able to bike faster. And
is it like the current makes it more difficult, or is it just the amount of people, or like all of the above?
Getting kicked in the face, was that a good start? Welcome to triathlon. Poosh.
I feel like I wasn't mentally prepared for it, so I feel like I'll be better off then, because like people say it's crowded and it's chaos, but it was more chaotic than I thought it would be, because I was like, oh, I'll just start at the back and then give people a chance to spread out, and then like I'll have more room, and then like that didn't work. Now I'm stuck behind all the slow people, so now I have no room to like go forward, and then the next wave is coming, so now I have faster people passing, and it's like I'm stuck in between 2 groups.
I found it interesting that like if we got a pool, I can swim a mile in 1:30 pace, and you could probably swim a mile in 1:40, 1:45 pace. But out here in open water with all the elements and everything that's happening, I swam it in 2 minute pace. I can't swim that slow in a pool. I don't even know how to swim that slow. But I was going pretty hard today, and I was 2 minutes and 3 seconds per 100. You had all that happen, kicked in the face, panic attack, and you went 2:15. I think a lot of people think they're going to be whatever they do in the pool is going to translate to open water, and I just don't think that's true.
So do you guys feel better or worse about your upcoming half Ironman that's coming up in about 6 weeks?
I felt really good that like my bike was right where I thought it would be. The run, I think maybe even went better than I thought it would go. The swim, I'm kind of panicking about that. Like I need to get out and open water swim.
Luckily, it's the least important, though. I mean, if you go out and you practice your butt off and do all this stuff for swimming, you'll be, over the course, because an Olympic compared to a half Ironman's only, 600 yards, 800 yard difference?
Yeah, that was what I was really happy about. It's like the bike, is over twice as far. The run is over twice as far, but the swim is only just a little bit farther. So
I feel pretty good overall about it. I mean, considering I didn't take really any proactive measures to have really good equipment or be really very prepared for it, I can already identify a couple dozen things that I could do instantly that would make me better and make me faster. My run was really bad though, and I think I'll need to focus on that. Was that a dehydration thing? Was that I expelled too much energy on the bike? I'm not sure, but either way, I bonked and I completely fell apart on the run. I mean, normally I should probably run a 10K in 7:10, 7:20 at worst pace, and I went 7:43 today.
it's basically easy run pace. So it can't be that you need to like get fitter at running, because like you have to be able to run faster than easy pace.
I mean, we didn't expect, when we were talking about this before and we were looking at the bike ride, he's got a much better bike than I do. The anticipation was going to be he was going to be able to go 19 miles per hour and I was going to go 17 or somewhere in that range. And we actually, I went faster. I went 19.6 miles per hour and he went 19.4, 19.3. So I think that is likely because I was expelling too much energy. I was going too hard on the bike. And then when I got off the bike and went to the run, I was gassed. I had probably depleted my glycogen levels and my body was probably just going into chaos mode. So I'll need to be careful about that, because heading into a half Ironman going twice as far, if I fell apart like that in the run, I mean, what the hell is going to happen to me if I go twice as far on the bike ride? I'm going to be walking that whole run.
That's the difference between, like, I come from a running background. If you hit the wall and you go way too hard, go out too fast in a 5K, you get to 2.5 miles and you're like, oh, I have to, jog it in. In a marathon, you get to 18 miles and, oh, I went too hard and now I have to walk it in. You still have 8 miles to go and you're walking for 2 hours.
Question.
Jimmy, tell us about your equipment you bought before the race and if you think it made a difference or not.
And I think you also shaved your legs yesterday, didn't you?
I tried to do all the little stuff that, I researched everything and what little stuff could I do to, have everything go right. And I didn't necessarily buy like the most expensive of everything, but I had everything. I have the aero bars and I have the aero water bottle, and it's cheap aero bars and cheap aero water bottle, and taped my goo packets to my bike so they're ready to go, and just researched everything. And
That's a great point to like the training and the equipment pieces. You and I are both putting in roughly the same amount of effort in our training, and I have worse equipment and you have better equipment. If I were to increase my equipment, it would probably make a big difference. But then for you to increase your equipment from where it is right now, it really wouldn't do much. You're here with your equipment and I'm here. If I were to go here, it makes a big difference, but everything after that's really incremental. It's very small. And you also shave your legs.
I read that it can save anywhere between a minute or like 15 seconds and a minute. So Couldn't hurt
And how much did you beat me by?
on the
Total.
total. I don't know. Was it like 3 or 4 minutes?
So you're
You gotta
saying
shave your
the
legs.
shaving your legs worked?
That was
Right.
a quarter of it.
That was the difference. right
Shaving
there.
legs mattered. I got this on my head.
Josh didn't
Yeah,
shave, and
well, you had a
he
helmet.
was 3 minutes slower.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
I have the wish helmet, the shit helmet.
Yeah.
My hair was flapping out and
I
stuff.
feel like you don't need to shave your head.
I was also biking.
You're like, you know.
I was also
Don't do
biking
that.
with no top on. So when you talk about wind resistance, what type of wind resistance is it when my fat chub on my body's flapping around in the wind? People were yelling at me on the course because it was really not a very nice day, and it was windy, and it was, kind of dark and gloomy, and there was even a little bit of rain. And I'm out there biking, 20 miles per hour with no top on. People kept yelling at me like, "Yeah, no top guy." But I definitely think it would make a difference. It would make a difference to have a suit that makes me more aerodynamic, especially when we talk about biking.
Jimmy, did anybody shout at you like, hey, show your dick red guy? You look awesome.
I can see your dick through your tri-suit.
Way to go, dude.
My tri-suit
Your
is,
dick looks great.
my tri-suit is very revealing, very tight.
Maybe we should post a picture of it with the video, so
Yeah.
so your viewers can know what we're talking
We'll
about.
insert that here.
Ding.
I think all those little things, it doesn't seem like much, but you take a dozen of these little things and add them up, and it equals a couple minutes. And I mean, a couple minutes was the difference between you and me, and you got third in our age group, right? And 22nd overall.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And
you
I got-
third in their age group.
I got
Good
sixth
job,
in our
babe.
age group and 36th overall. So, I mean,
That's good.
that's a big
Yeah, you-
difference when you look at
you
those
did.
little things.
You guys did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you think if Josh would have had all those little things too, do you think your time would have been faster?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it would have been faster. I think it would have helped with the transition time for sure. So that right there is a minute, right, of transition time.
Do you think your tummy was upset because you had to pee-pee though?
I did have to go potty really bad. About 2 miles into the run, I really had to go to the bathroom.
Like, I wonder if it's not so much like what you did eat, but just the fact that you had to pee really bad.
Well, what do you do before a race, right? You get pre-race jitters. You have to go to the bathroom sometimes, like
A bunch of times.
a
Yeah.
ridiculous amount of times,
A
3, 4,
bunch.
5 times. Before a triathlon, you 20 minutes, a half hour before are putting on your wetsuit, and that's a bitch. That's a whole process getting that thing on.
Yeah.
So once that thing's on, like if you have to go to the bathroom, like
You're
Well-
like, do I really want to go?
I
And
was
take my
standing there
wetsuit
getting
off?
ready to race as we're standing there in the sand, and it was like, nah, I'm just gonna piss my pants. Piss my pants right as we're just standing there, and nobody could tell because you got a wetsuit on.
I think we all did. I did.
I kept looking around, and below everybody, they were standing in wet puddles. So everybody was clearly pissing themselves before the race. And what that tells you is, I know from exercising every day and doing this stuff that when you have to piss and you hold it in, you then have to shit. So which means
Yeah.
everybody might be having tummy problems, and there's nothing anybody's going to do about it because they're not going to go run to the bathroom because it's the whole process getting the suit on
Yeah.
and off. So that means basically I'm doing a 30-minute swim, an hour and a half bike ride, and then running a 10K, all while probably needing to go to the bathroom. For Olympic triathlon, the bike ride should be 24, 25 miles, depending. And ours was only 22. So it was a little short. But your overall time was a 2:16, which got you third in your age group at 36 years old. And my total time was a 2:21, which put me like sixth overall in my age group. You compute that out for a half Ironman, that puts us right in that 5-hour range, which I think for most people when they talk about a half Ironman, that's a great goal. It's like running a 3-hour marathon, running a 5-hour half is most people's goal, or running a 10-hour Ironman. Looking forward to a half Ironman, what's your prediction for your time and your prediction for my time?
I'd have to do the calculator.
Oh my gosh.
You can't just take a hot take.
Josh, what do you think your time's going to be?
I think I'm going to go like a 5:02, and I don't really need to quantify it. I'm just really good at making predictions. And I think you're going to go a 4:15 56.
Who do you think is gonna win out of the two of you?
Well, by those times that he literally just said.
You thought you were gonna win.
I don't really know that I thought I was going to win, but I'll definitely tell you, when I finished the bike and I came running through the transition and I knew I had about 2.5 minutes on him on the run, I was doing the math. And in my head, 60-40, I was going to win.
Are you gonna shave your legs next time, Josh?
So that's a great question. Am I going to take all measures to being as good as I possibly can on that day when we do the half? Yes. I am going to shave my legs. I will have a nice clean haircut, clean shaven for the most part. I don't know that I'm going to shave the twigs and berries, but I'll be pretty clean shaven, and then I will have a triathlon suit, and I will get some of the other stuff that'll make me more aerodynamic and more efficient. Like I said, there's a dozen things easily that I would change about the way I did it today, which is very encouraging to me. It should be very concerning for you.
I feel like for me, there was nothing that I could have shaven significant time on by doing different.
Do you feel like there was 3 to 4 minutes worth of stuff that I could have done differently had I had all the things you have?
No. It's weird to think about, like, in the transitions that, like, if you take your time, you're getting extra rest, and so that little break could maybe help.
Mm-hmm. I like the way you're thinking. I think taking breaks and slowing down and just really managing yourself, I think you should take full advantage of that. Go as slow as you need.
Much entertainment.
So really, when we look at it, the big goal is going to be to break 5 hours. That's probably something that you and I are going to be chasing as we continue to do these triathlons, especially as we continue to do half Ironmans. We'll probably chase 5 hours, and then if we ever do a full, we'll chase 10 hours. And right now, based on your times, you're right there, and I'm just a little bit behind you.
I feel like it's really close. It'll come down to the swim. The swim could go horrible, and I could be awful in the swim, and I could add 15 minutes in the swim or whatever. If it goes well, I feel like I'm like right there. I feel like it's like a given that I'll break it after a couple of them. But
Well, I guess that's the goal. First one to break 5 hours.
I feel like you have zero chance.
You can do it.
That's perfect. It's perfect ending.